And we say good morning to you. Welcome to Breakfast at Bristol, day number 2. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, the voice of Bristol Motor Speedway, and also the host of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Lots to talk about today like we did yesterday. And, of course, if you're tuning in for the first time, what is Breakfast at Bristol all about? Very simple. It is an informative next hour or so to tell you what's going on, all the bells and whistles, everything you can be involved in this great race week here at the world's last great Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we have lots to talk about today. We're going to be joined by Gail Hulse coming up here in a few minutes. Lots going on for kids. As you know, Bristol Motor Speedway has reached out to the young people, the kids, and allowing them to come in free on Friday, Bush's Beans Pole Day, and also coming in on Saturday as well for the big doubleheader, the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 and also the Zombie Auto 125. So we're all about kids. And we have an expanded kids zone, but won't steal her thunder. Let her talk about that coming up here in a few minutes. Also, Speedway Children's Charities, a fantastic organization raising money for kids here in the Tri-Cities and across the region. And so we'll have Betsy Holloman in here in a little while to talk about what they're doing and all the different events you can be a part of to help raise money for Speedway Children's Charities, as well as have fun while you're doing it. It's things that you would like to do, like a cornhole tournament, a 5K race, all kinds of neat things. So we'll talk with her about that coming up in a little while as well. Let's set the schedule for you. Again, we get things going on Friday with Bush's Beans Pole Day. Again, the gates will be ready to roll, and gates will be open, I should say, Friday morning. We'll be ready to roll at 11:30 for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice number 1 for this race weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. Then at 1 and 3:30, back-to-back practices for the Xfinity Series. And then, of course, at 4:45 on Friday afternoon, who will set on the pole? A brand-new pole setter from a year ago is Carl Edwards, of course, not on the circuit now. And so we'll look for a new pole setter as he did that very thing last year, set on the pole and went on to win the race. So we'll crown a new pole setter and also, obviously, a new winner, the Food City 500 on Sunday. Again, Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Coors Light pole qualifying will be at 4:45 on Friday. That's just on Friday. Then, of course, after that, we'll talk more about this as well. Right after the qualifying, everybody heads over to the hospitality area for the 30th anniversary of the Food City Family Race Night, which is a free event, and it is awesome. And so we'll talk more about that coming up here in a little while. On Saturday, full day of racing, of course, on the world's fastest half mile. It all gets started at 8:30. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series practice. Then at 9:35, we have an Xfinity Series Coors Light pole qualifying opportunity. That'll be at 9:35 on Saturday morning. Then you come back, the final practice for the Cup drivers at 11 o'clock. Then at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300, followed by the Zombie Auto 125, the K&N Series. Again, defending their crowns will be Eric Jones in the Xfinity Series, and also Chad Fincham from nearby Knoxville, Tennessee, will be back to defend his crown for the Zombie Auto 125. All that on Saturday. Then we get to the big one. On Sunday, of course, at 2 o'clock, we'll drop the green flag for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Food City 500, the 25th installment of the race. Again, the second longest sponsorship in NASCAR behind Coca-Cola is Food City. What a testament to the folks at Food City, and what a testament, of course, to Bristol Motor Speedway for the partnership of 25 years. And it's like, we use the terminology family, and it really is like a family between the two organizations. And so Food City, very proud to be the sponsor of the spring race. They've signed their multi-year extension a couple of years back, so they're very pleased to be here, and we're tickled to death to have, obviously, Food City in the fold as the sponsor for the Food City 500 in the spring here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Speaking of, here are some of we are in the Speedway World Gift Shop, by the way, on property in the Bruton Smith building, so if you're looking for a souvenir of any type, we're talking shot glasses, toboggans, rain jackets, pennants, clocks. I look around here, all this with the Bristol Motor Speedway on it, but also across the way that you can't see off camera, but there are driver's jackets. There's Lowe's and M&M's. There's Nationwide. There's Danica Patrick materials. So not just Bristol Motor Speedway, but your favorite driver. A lot of their merchandise is in here as well. So when you come on property for the race this weekend, be sure and stop by and get a souvenir at the Speedway World Gift Shop here in the Bruton Smith building. Here are the two official Food City 500 25th anniversary ball caps. Again, obviously the black one and the gray one with the blue and red stripes. And then also, I told the ladies I wanted to show this off, and they said go for it. So here's the official T-shirt. It says, we're gladiators collide. Let me show you that. And then on the flip side, how about this? We call it the last great Coliseum. So this is the official T-shirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. They're available here at Speedway World Gift Shop here on property at Bristol Motor Speedway. We say good morning to you. Thank you for being with us. Let's run down some of the events and some of the folks who are going to be here, some celebrities, because race weekend at Bristol, you never know who's going to be here. Case in point, Russell Dickerson is going to put on a concert on Sunday pre-race before the start of the Food City 500. Emerging country music star. He has headlined numerous venues. He has toured with Billy Currington, Florida Georgia Line, among others. He will be introduced on the backstretch by racing legend and recent WrestleMania 33 participant Bill Goldberg is going to be in the house. We'll talk more about him coming up in just a second. But again, Russell Dickerson's here. Russell Dickerson, check this out. This guy is an emerging country music star. Over 37 million on-demand streams and more than 2.9 million views on YouTube. His new single called Yours will begin impacting country radio on April the 24th. I was going to say album, but his CD, I guess I just dated myself. His CD, Yours, was also a success, debuting at number 2 in the iTunes Country Store and number 1 album on Billboard's Heat Seeker chart. This guy's coming to town, so he's ready to roll. He's currently on tour, the home team tour with country music star Thomas Rhett. Here's the quote from Dickerson. He says, quote, "I've grown up around racing, and Bristol is a legendary track. I could not be more excited to kick off the Food City 500 with a big old bang than my concert on Sunday." Before the start of the race. Tickets, again, available while supplies last. You can add on to your ticket with a pre-race super pass and be stage side down on the track for the concert featuring Russell Dickerson. That super pass also includes a track walk and also track access for Bristol's wildly popular Food City 500 driver intros. How do you get these tickets? Very simple. Call 423-BRISTOL. Go to bristoltix.com. Those are the two ways, two of the two ways, to get your tickets for this event. Russell Dickerson is going to be here on Sunday before the start of the Food City 500 with a pre-race concert down on the track. As we mentioned, wrestling legend Bill Goldberg will serve as the honorary Chevrolet pace car driver coming up for Sunday's race. Goldberg served as the host of Bristol's fan favorite driver intros during the last 2 April races. In addition to his pace car role, Goldberg will also participate in pre-race ceremonies, fan meet and greets, and serve as host for Colossus TV. And all that's coming up again all weekend long. So if you're a fan of Goldberg, you'll want to be here because he will be in the house. And when Goldberg's here, you just never know what's going to happen. And so we're excited about Goldberg being in town all weekend long here at Bristol Motor Speedway. This is called Breakfast at Bristol. Our goal is to provide you information when you come again to the world's fastest half mile for this race weekend. If you have any questions, please go to the comments section, ask some questions or questions, and immediately or very shortly thereafter, a staff member from Bristol Motor Speedway will come right back and answer any questions you may have. So if you have some, be sure to put them in the comments section, and we'll take it from there. Now, when you get here, I want you to take a look at this. This is called the Guest Guide. This is a complimentary piece put out by Bristol Motor Speedway. It is full of everything you'll need to know once you get here. We have a lot of first-time folks coming to Bristol Motor Speedway this race weekend, 50 states, and more than 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 countries are coming to town for the race. And so a lot of folks are first-timers. What do we do? All right? Where do we park? Raceway Ministries. These are alphabetized, by the way. Golf carts, grandstand tickets, hearing protection, guest services, kid zones. Here's one. This is really neat. When you get here and get your scanner, it actually has all the frequencies of all your favorite drivers right here inside this guest guide booklet. So you can sit and watch and hear. Of course, you're going to watch. You'll hear Eric Jones or Danica Patrick or Dale Jr., and the frequencies are all, again, right here for you. So all this inside this book, first aid, where are the elevators, where are the restrooms. If you've never been here, if you run out of cash, you need an ATM, we've got those on property. All this, again, in this complimentary guest guide put out every race by the folks here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's a superb must-have if you're on property, whether you're a first-time guest or you are here every time. Things change, and so even check this out. Here's a map of the entire complex in and around Bristol Motor Speedway where the campgrounds are, and then also a little bit more specific, here's a seating chart. So if you get here and go, where do I sit? Where's my tickets? Here's an actual map, so before you get here, you'll have an idea. All this, again, inside this guest guide. You got to have one of these. These are free, by the way. I like how they printed them, and they made them so you could stuff down in your back pocket or in your purse if you're a lady, and very, very, very good, very useful. And the best part is it's free and it's full of information you will need. All right, so we get ready. They have been off last week. The drivers rolling in here, getting ready to go for the world's fastest half mile. Let's set the points and let you know how things go as we come into Bristol for this race weekend. Leading the points, Kyle Larson, Chip Ganassi Racing. Chase Elliott currently second. Martin Truex Jr. third. Brad Keselowski currently fourth in points. Joe Logano fifth. Ryan Blaney sixth. Kyle Busch seventh. Jamie McMurray eighth. Clint Boyer ninth. And teammate Kevin Harvick rounds out the top 10 in points again as they roll in here again for this weekend's Food City 500. The stages, of course, this is the new part of racing for NASCAR in 2017. And the stages here will go as follows for the Food City 500. It'll be 3 stages, laps 125 for the first one. Second stage, 125, and the third stage will be 250 laps. The Fitzgerald Glider Kit 300, the Xfinity Series also having stages, 85 laps, stage 2. And the final stage will be 130 laps. Also on Saturday, when you come here, you get an opportunity to see 425 laps of racing. You also get a chance to see the Xfinity Series drivers banging and beating for a chance to add a lot more money in their pocket before they leave here on Saturday, as it'll be a Dash for Cash event. The top 2 finishing Xfinity regulars from the first 2 stages, top 2 guys from the first 2 stages, or ladies, will be eligible for the $100,000 Dash for Cash bonus. The top finishers of those 4 during the final 250-lap stage will earn the prize. How about that? That's awesome. And so the Dash for Cash, just another reason to get your tickets and get in here for the racing coming up on Saturday, a doubleheader, 425 laps of racing, and you can't beat it for the ticket prices. And again, 423 Bristol. That is where you want to get those, or bristoltix.com. And the best part is for the kids, they get in free. That's the best price. You can't beat that price. Free. So they'll be in here free on Friday for Bush's Beans Pole Day, and they'll be here Friday 12 and under, get in free for Saturday's racing as well. And then Sunday for the Food City 500, kids ticket, $10, kids 12 and under. So obviously reaching out to young people, and deservedly so, because they are awesome. And so we want them involved in NASCAR as the next generation NASCAR fans, and Bristol Motor Speedway making it very easy for you, moms and dads, or grandmas and granddads, or aunts and uncles, whoever you may be, coming to the race to bring the little ones, because they get in free Friday and Saturday, and only a $10 ticket to see the Food City 500 on Sunday. Again, welcome. It's Breakfast at Bristol. We thank you for being with us again on this Tuesday. We're going to be talking to Gail Halse coming up in a few minutes about the Kids Zone activities. Also, Betsy Holloman joins us coming up in a few minutes as well, as she'll be talking to us about Speedway Children's Charities. If you've not been to Bristol Motor Speedway, let's set the configuration for you. Again, the straightaways are 650 feet long. The concrete racing surface is 43 feet wide. The banking and turns, it's hard, you can hardly walk up and down them. 24 to 30 degrees in the banking. The banking in the straightaway 4 to 9 degrees, but again, you can hardly walk up and down the banks in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so tight racing, 43 feet wide is all the concrete you've got. And I promise you, they will use every inch of that concrete surface when they're racing this weekend. Again, pit road speed at 30 miles per hour. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts and bells and whistles again of Bristol Motor Speedway. Track opened in 1960, first Cup race in 1961, the first Food City 500 in 1992. Alan Kowicki brought home the checkers in the very first Food City 500. Of course, last year's winner was Carl Edwards, who also sat on the pole. So we'll crown a new champion and a new pole sitter coming up this week here at the world's fastest half mile. We want to get this young lady in here. She had lots to talk about. Miss Gail, come on over here and sit down. And this, one of the neatest ladies in the building, I'm going to tell you right now. We'll get this. Oh, you are. And she is such a great fan and supporter of Bristol Motor Speedway. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you, Tom?
Oh, I'm just fine. I appreciate her coming. I know she's very, very busy, as they all are. But, gosh, we want to talk about the kids, and there's so much going on this weekend for the kids. We just mentioned the ticket prices are FREE on Friday and Saturday, which is a great value.
Correct.
So tell us about Kids Zone. What's it all about, and what's going to be offered this weekend?
Well, we are actually really excited about the kids this weekend, not only just because of the ticket prices, but also the things that we're going to offer them. We still have our Kids Zone out in the fan zone area. All of it's free. We're going to have a zip line, a rock wall, a Eurobungee, all their face painting, coloring, anything the kids want to do. But this year, for the first time, we have added 2 new concourse kid zones. So we're really excited about that as well. And with the 2 concourse kid zones, during the race, if the kids, decide to go get them something to eat and to drink, they might want to take a little break, have a little fun, with the bouncy house, some, cornhole, face painting, coloring, just anything, to kind of give them a little break, and then go back in and watch all the racing action.
Absolutely. So we're all about the kids. You've got the rock climbing wall. Let's see some of the other things you said we've got coming up. The kids zone, the inflatables. You've had zip lines up here before.
We do. We have a zip line this year. We have the same thing that we've had in our fan zone for the last couple of years, and the kids absolutely love it. They just have so much fun doing that, before the race starts. But, we're also really excited about the 2 concourse kid zones. That's something new for the first time. In gate 13, they can come in to their left, and there's a kid zone. There's one near the Kulwicki and the Pearson grandstands in the concourse area. So we're excited about that.
We're talking to Gail Hulse again, this young lady, again, the Director of Guest Services here at Bristol Motor Speedway, doing a great job, and we appreciate all that they do. And, of course, you have started on this since probably the fall race and even before that. So I want folks to understand we just don't wake up at Bristol along about the 1st of March and go, we better get busy. It's a year-round endeavor, isn't it?
That's true. Yes, it is. And this year also on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be giving the first 1,000 children that enter the gates. We're going to give them a special pack that's going to have the Cars 3 scratch-off tickets in it. We're going to give them a NASCAR Acceleration Nation book on Sunday. So they're going to have a lot of things that, they're going to be excited about this year.
She's making reference to the new Disney movie Cars 3, so we'll be distributing special gift bags, as she said, to the first 1,000 kids that come to the gates on both Saturday and Sunday. Also, we're going to utilize Colossus TV, the world's largest outdoor center-hung 4-sided video display. This weekend, we'll see a lot of kids up on the screen too, won't we?
Oh yes, we will, and they're going to have a lot of fun with showing their friends what they can do here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
So, if you have children, if you're a grandparent, aunt, uncle, mom, and dad, why would you not come here? Again, the tickets are free for the kids on Friday and Saturday, and only a $10 ticket on Sunday for the Food City 500. Gail, tell us about the Kids Club. Once they get here, let's get them signed up to be a part of the Bristol Kids Club.
Well, the Kids Club, they can sign up in the Kids Zone in the Fan Zone area. Once they sign up, we'll send them a packet about 6 weeks after the event, their membership packet, which is a sling bag, a membership card, with their coloring book and different things that we'll send them. And they'll also get notifications throughout the year of all the things that are going on at Bristol Motor Speedway and kind of keep track of our mascots bump and run.
I was going to say that was my next. Tell us about the mascots, because they're a kid favorite. Everywhere they go, they're just kind of they're like magnets. Kids go right to them. The Bristol Motor Speedway official mascots bump and run.
Bump and run. Oh my goodness, they have been around I think since 2011. So they're really crazy raccoons. They're always around everywhere. You never know where they're at. They're always getting into trouble. So we have to kind of keep them out of trouble. And the kids help do that. They keep their eye on bump and run for us during the race time.
Gail keeps her pulse on the folks that come here. Every race, we have a lot of first-time folks coming in here. This year is no exception. So when you get here, or before you get here, where's a good reference point to come and learn everything they can about the kids before they get here this weekend?
Well, there's so many places actually that you can go. Any of our guest service booths, our guest welcome villages, you're welcome to come and hang out with us and let us help you and give you the best experience that we can. But this year we also have a first-time guest tent that's going to be across from gate 6 and 7. Come there, and we have some first-time guest guides that if you want to have someone that takes you into the grandstand and shows you where your seat is and shows you where all the restrooms, concessions are, we have someone there to help you, to guide you through that.
This is a must-have, too. This is the guest guide they put out.
Guide.
Complimentary, of course. And one of the neat things in here, because we've said yesterday's show and all week long we will tell you that safety is a priority here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We have also a program called Tag a Kid. Tell me about that.
Tag a Kid. You can go to any guest service booth or guest welcome village or the kids zones, and what we'll do is we'll put an armband on your child with your phone number, and we'll also your seat location and how to get in touch with you should your kid get separated. And we also give the children earplugs because we want to protect their hearing as well.
As one of the staff members, the best way we described this yesterday, it's Christmas, because we work and work and work, and like the fans are coming. We look forward to them coming every year, don't we?
Oh, we do. We look forward to them coming every year, and we try to make it something special every event. So, that every time they come, they're looking for something else that we
For the most part, it's open most of the weekend for the kids, isn't it?
It is on Friday from 10 to 4, and on Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 2. We're going to be open in the fan zone area. And then the concourse kid zones will open at 1 o'clock on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they'll be open until the race is almost complete.
We love our kids, and of course, we want them to come and have a good time. Let's face it, they're the future of the sport, and so we have made it very easy for you to come, moms and dads. Again, a free ticket on Friday for Bush's Beans Pole Day, and a free ticket for the kids coming up on Saturday, 425 laps. It's a doubleheader, and then on Sunday, Gail, gosh, $10 to come watch the best drivers in the world.
Exactly, and what can you do with your children for $10?
Well put. See, she's right. She's awesome. Thank you. What do you want to leave us with?
I want to leave you with we're having a great weekend and an exciting week here at Bristol Motor Speedway. There's something going on from morning till night, so we hope everyone's here and having a great time.
You got it. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you pick up the passion? This is what I love about the folks up here, because I'm not up here full time. I'm not a full time employee, but I love this place because this lady right here personifies what it's all about. When you get up here, we truly and sincerely are glad you're coming. And it's not just a bunch of lip service and a bunch of, as we say, poppycock. We really are glad you're coming, and this lady personified that. You can see it and hear it in her voice. They work year-round to get it in here, so get you in here, rather. It's a memory-making experience. We want you to leave here and be happy campers and say, man, I've got to come back to Bristol because we got there. It was so much fun, and now we're providing even more fun for the kids. So we appreciate her very much, and again, thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, neat lady, I'm telling you. And whenever I get around her, you just feel it. You just feel the compassion, the excitement, because they work very, very hard, and they look forward to these kids and you, the moms and dads and kids, if you're watching, to get in here this weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway. One of the neat things going on, too, coming up on Friday is Food City Family Race Night. We want to talk about that. Our great sponsor, Food City, the 30th anniversary. Another event to come in here this weekend. Guess what the price tag is? FREE, another free event, the 30th anniversary of Food City Family Race Night. It is on Friday evening right after pole qualifying. Again, it's right here on property. You say, well, do I have to get my car, my truck, my whatever and drive? Nope. All you have to do is walk outside of the track in the hospitality area out of turn 4, and there it is, Food City Family Race Night. Here are some of the drivers already committed, and they continue to commit on a daily basis. These for sure are nailed down and coming to Food City Family Race Night. And I'm going to say this, I don't know what other pro sport in America or even in the world will give you the opportunity to sit down across the table and go through a line and get something signed for free from the stars of the sport. Maybe the other sports do it. I don't know if they do, but they do it in NASCAR. They do it here in Bristol. For example, on Friday night already, Brad Keselowski, Casey Kane, Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Amarola, Justin Allgaier. Those are some of the folks going to be here. The King, Richard Petty, is going to be here. Here's the neat thing about Richard Petty. I've watched him before in public appearances. He'll wear out a Sharpie. He will sign everything. He will sign to the last hurrah, because he said this is the backbone of our sport. So he will do that, and so he'll be here. Darrell Waltrip's going to be here, the guy that dominated this track for so many years now on television. He'll be here. Also, Larry McReynolds will be the MC of the event. We have Miss Food City's going to be here. So all this, live entertainment, kids' characters, free food sampling, simulators and show cars, question and answer sessions that you get a chance to ask questions to your favorite driver. There again, when you go and get the chance to sit down and ask a question and answer in a free event, and maybe that happens, I just don't know of it, but Major League Baseball, the NBA, the National Football League, I don't know if that happens, but we know it happens in NASCAR. It happens here in Bristol. So question and answer sessions, you get a chance to ask your favorite driver questions. There's going to be fireworks literally up in the sky at 9 o'clock on Friday night, and a whole lot more. So circle the calendar this coming Friday evening. It's free admission. It's the 30th anniversary of the Food City Family Race Night. It's right here at Bristol Motor Speedway, one of the biggest and best pre-race events in NASCAR. We do it the best here at Bristol, and so up close and personal to the biggest names in racing. Again, drivers, show cars, souvenirs, simulators, entertainers, food sampling, commercial characters, even antique tractors, show cars, autographs, and also some check presentations. Check this out. Food City, over the years, over $500,000 has been contributed to local charities as a result of the success of Food City Family Race Night. Friday night, free. You want to be here? It is from when? From 4 until 9 o'clock on Friday evening. You do not want to miss that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, it's another chance for you to get out here and hang with the folks at Food City Family Race Night. It is Breakfast at Bristol. We thank you for being with us. Again, on the table right here at the Speedway World Gift Shop are the official Food City 500 ball caps. This one, of course, the obvious black and red and gray on top. This one, of course, gray and red and blue. And so your choice of those two, those are the official ball caps this weekend of the Food City 500. Also, Here's a little kid's hat, as a matter of fact. Patrick put this on the table from Speedway World Gift Shop. Check that out. Here's for the little person, the Bristol Motor Speedway ball cap. And so here, one more time, is the official T-shirt of this weekend's race. Let's put it up right here. You don't need to see me. Here we go. There's the front. And it simply says, "Where gladiators collide," to the date and the Speedway. Let me turn this around and show you again the back of it. There you go. The official T-shirt on all sizes. It's right here at Speedway World. And, of course, I didn't tell you what the back says. The back says, of course, you'd be able to see it, "The Last Great Coliseum, 25th Anniversary, Bristol Motor Speedway." It's a good-looking shirt. Greg Cole's done it again. We're going to have him on tomorrow talking about everything available here in the gift shop. And so April 23rd, 2017, the Gladiators roll into the world's last great Coliseum and beat and bang and rub and race. Of course, we talked about the sticky surface that we have down to the bottom part of the groove, so it's going to be great, and the racing action is going to be intense, and you need to be here. 423 Bristol or bristoltix.com are the numbers, and the website to go to, bristoltix.com. Again, 423 Bristol, and again, 866-415-4158 is the number to call as well to get in here and get ready to rumble, as they say. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go back again and recap, as we said, the dimensions here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 650 feet long, the straightaways. Again, in the turns, the banking is 24 to 30 degrees. So if you come up here and try and walk up it, can't do it. It's that steep. And so the concrete racing surface is 43 feet wide, as we said earlier. They squeeze every inch of that 43 feet, and they're beating and banging, and they'll come out of the turns and on the banking and get into those front stretch and back stretch, going in some cases 3 wide, turning 14, 15, 16-second laps. I mean, they're getting with it. As Rusty Wallace once said, it's like going around the top of a cereal bowl at 120 miles an hour. Again, bumper to bumper, from me to the end of this table is the car in front of you for 500 miles. I mean, they get with it. They don't mess around. It is intense. As we talked about yesterday on the show, you can be flying along, everything be hunky-dory and be good. And on the other side of the track, you can be on the front stretch. On the back stretch is a wreck. And it's happened this fast that you're caught up in the trouble, and you're just riding along and having a great day, and next thing you know, you're in the walls. So it happens that quickly. As we talked about, probably one of the most important folks here this weekend at Bristol Motor Speedway for these teams are the spotters up on top of the roof that are constantly looking down, obviously, and communicating to the drivers and to the crew chiefs, saying trouble up top, go low, or it's something going on down low, go up top, trying to avoid the collisions and the carnage. So yeah, I tell you, it's awesome. There's nothing like Bristol Motor Speedway, I can tell you that. Again, we are glad you're here. Let's run down again from last year. Carl Edwards was the race winner. We will crown a new one this year, obviously. Also, the pole winner from a year ago was Edwards. He sat on the pole and won it. The track qualifying record, by the way, is Denny Hamlin. Did it August of last year at 131.466 miles per hour. How about that? The oldest pole winner to capture the pole here at Bristol Motor Speedway, Harry Gant. The Skull Bandit did it back in 1994, 54 years old at the time. The youngest pole winner in 2010, Joey Logano, was only 19 years old when he sat on the pole again in the spring race of 2010. The most all-time wins, we told you he'll be here Friday night for the Food City Family Race Night. Got to come by and see Boogity, Boogity, Boogity. Darrell Waltrip, all-time winner, 12 wins here. The world's fastest half mile. At one point he had 7 in a row, which is unheard of. The most wins among active drivers, Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch with 5. Matt Kenseth with 4 wins at Bristol. And the most poles, all-time pole winner, Mark Martin and Cale Yarborough. Both had 9 poles here at Bristol. And the most poles among active drivers, Rocket Ryan Newman and Denny Hamlin with 3 each. So those are some of the tales of the tape, if you will, here at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. I want to bring you some other information, too. Let's go back and talk about the Food City 500 from a year ago, and also the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 as well. We got Betsy Holloman coming in here in just a few minutes, going to sit down and talk to us about Speedway Children's Charities. But I do want to talk about a couple of things also that once you get here will make your transition very, very easy, and that is Park and Ride. Now, this is an opportunity to not worry about the traffic here at Bristol Motor Speedway this race weekend. This is 4 different destinations here across Tri-Cities where you can simply park your vehicle, and we will bring you via shuttle bus right to the front gates of Bristol Motor Speedway, obviously let you out, and right after, about 45 minutes after the race, pick you right back up and bring you right back to take you right back to your vehicle, rather. These are by reservation only. Space is limited in Bristol, Virginia, Sugar Hollow Park, Lee Highway between exits 7 and 10 off Interstate 81. The pickup time will be 10:30. In Johnson City, we'll park you at East Tennessee State University. They're on their campus on lot number 9, the corner of West State of Franklin and University Parkway. Pickup time there is 10:30. In Kingsport, at Sullivan North High School and John B. Dennis Highway, pickup time there will be 10:30 as well. And then in Blountville, at Sullivan Central High School, exit 66 of Interstate 81, pickup time there is 10:30 as well. Now, satellite parking allows you to park away from the track and travel via shuttle bus to avoid congested driving conditions. Guest parking in these lots will be provided shuttle service for a cost of $20 round trip. Can't beat it. $10 up, $10 back. Reservations are required by calling the ticket office at 866-415-4158. And so that's going to be for the Food City 500. Why would you not? If you could, park and ride, let somebody else drive for you. And again, 4 locations will take you right to the front gates, drop you off, and bring it about 45 minutes after the race. The shuttles will depart. So you can get back into your vehicle in a timely manner on Sunday for the Food City 500. Here are the ticket prices, by the way. They start with a season ticket. We can still sell you season tickets, obviously, for both the spring race and the fall race. Coming up in the fall, of course, the truck race. We have the Food City 300 and the Xfinity Series on Friday night. And, of course, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race on the Saturday night August race, the toughest ticket in NASCAR. That is also part of the season tickets. You can buy season tickets for the spring race this weekend and the fall racing. And so those start at $149. How about this for the young people? To get a season ticket at Bristol Motor Speedway for the kids 12 and under for both weekends of racing, $20. You can't beat it, folks. 1-866-415-4158. 423 Bristol on the phone or also on the computer at bristoltix.com. We have, of course, Cup tickets available on Sunday. We have the Xfinity Series doubleheader tickets available for Saturday. Pole Day, again, general admission is $20 to get in here on Friday for Bush's Beans Pole Day when they qualify for the Food City 500. We told you earlier it's a full day of practicing for both the Cup drivers and the Xfinity drivers. And then, of course, at 4:45 we'll do the Coors Light pole qualifying for the Food City 500. And so $20 general admission for that. Kids get in free there. And so they get in free on Saturday as well. So 425 laps of racing free for the kids on Friday and Saturday. Of course, Friday's pole day, Bush's Beans pole day. But on Saturday, you have the 300-lap Xfinity Series race and also the K&N Series, the Zombie Auto 125. So 2 opportunities there to make it happen again on Saturday for a free ticket for the young people. Food City 500 a year ago, Carl Edwards brought home the checkers in the Comcast Business Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished second. It was Kurt Busch, again, the most active winner. Had a great run. He started 19th and finished 4th a year ago in that number 24 ride. Trevor Bain out of Knoxville, Tennessee, a local fan favorite. The Roush Advocare Ford for Jack Roush and Roush Fenway Racing. Trevor Bain qualified 10th and finished 5th. A solid start here a year ago and a solid finish, obviously, for Trevor Bain. Also from a year ago, Matt DiBenedetto finishing 6th. Kevin Harvick came home 7th, a former winner. Clint Boyer finished 8th. Ryan Newman 9th. And Joey Logano rounded out the top 10 of the race from a year ago. Here's an interesting stat. This will be our 25th running of the Food City 500. In the 24 races up to this point, we have 7 former winners in the field for this year's race. And out of those 7 drivers, they have collected a total of 12 wins amongst them. And that would tell you, of course, doing the math, that half of the Food City 500 winners will be coming from these 7 drivers because they've got 12 out of the 24 wins going in. So those will be the guys that will be odds-on favorites. That would be Kurt Busch, who's got 4 wins. Kyle Busch has 3 wins. Then you look at Kevin Harvick. You look at Brad Keselowski. You look at Casey Kane. You look at Matt Kenseth, are the guys, the 7 different drivers, and also Brad Keselowski, who have won this spring race. So these are the guys, the 7 drivers collectively won 12 wins under their belt. And that tells you, again, I would think on paper they would be the favorites going in because they've won here. And that would be, if I was, again, looking for a favorite, I would look for one of those 7 drivers. But you know what? When you get to Bristol, it doesn't matter. You can throw all that out the window. Once they drop the green flag and they get on it, and it's showtime, baby. It's rock and roll because it's Bristol, baby, and it's going to be great. Cannot wait till Sunday. Can't wait till Saturday. Great racing on Saturday as well for the Xfinity Series race from a year ago. We told you Eric Jones brought home the checkers from a year ago in that great race, and so Eric goes back again to defend his crown. Let's take a look at last year's Again, Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 from a year ago. Eric Jones, his first win ever at Bristol Motor Speedway. Then Kyle Busch came in second, Kyle Larson third, Austin Dillon fourth, Justin Allgaier, a winner here at Bristol in the spring in the 2000 decade, finished fifth. Daniel Suarez, of course, he's now in the Cup Series driving for Carl Edwards' old car. The new driver there in the 19. Suarez finishing sixth, Ty Dillon seventh, Kevin Harvick eighth, Joe Logano ninth, and Eric Amarola finished 10th. So you look at Eric Jones, this young man who won the race for the first time last year, look at the guys he beat. Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, and Eric Amarola, Cup regulars. See if he can do it again this year. And again, Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 coming up again on Saturday. Kind of a tale of the tape of that particular race. You had 15 cautions for 100 lead changes last year. So when you get up front in Bristol, you better hang on because there's somebody breathing down your neck at all times. So 16 different lead changes a year ago for the Food City 500. So that's, again, pretty impressive racing to say the least. And so we are looking forward to a great weekend of racing here at the world's fastest half mile. Again, where it's called Breakfast at Bristol. We're live here inside the Speedway World gift shop. If you have questions and if you have any comments you would like to make, please do so. And we will tell you that a Bristol Motor Speedway staff person will be right back to you promptly with an answer to one of your questions. So if you have any here on Facebook, we would encourage you to certainly give us any questions or comments you have, and we would be more than glad. We want to hear from you. As a matter of fact, wherever you are, we want to hear from you here this morning. We do this every morning. We were here yesterday, we'll be here today. Tomorrow we'll be here as well. Then Thursday, then Friday. It's Bristol, baby. It's cracking up time. Bush's Beans Pole Day. Then on Saturday, the doubleheader. Then on Sunday, the Food City 500. Do want to go back to this guest guide. Again, this is something that's a must-have once you get here on property. We are going to look through some of this here real quick. And let's see. Here is... of course, here's the neat thing. It's alphabetized. ATMs. If you need money, get on property, run a little short of cash, working to get some money, you can. We have ATMs here on property. Camping. We have lots of opportunities to camp, and one of the campgrounds already filled up for this weekend, the tent camping. So if you're interested in camping, go on the phone number to 866-415-4158. Daniel Warren is your contact. Be sure and call and ask for Daniel. He can give you all the information, the latest on the availability and the access to the Medallion Campground, the Drag Strip Campground, also the Landing Campground, the White Top Creek Park tent camping. All this available inside the guest guide. Also, we talk about coolers. Can you bring coolers into the track? It tells you right here, coolers up to 14 inches in size are permitted in the grandstand. Glass bottles and glass containers are not, for obvious reasons. Coolers are not permitted in the garage infield area or on suite level. All right, here's one on credentials. Also, driving directions, how to get in here. Are there elevators? Is there handicap accessibility for folks that need those services? There is. If you get hurt, first aid. We have the Wellmont Care Centers all across property. Tells you here in the guest guide if something happens, you need first aid, where and how to find those folks. Of course, the obvious here is always dial 911, and someone will be there on the other end quickly to answer your problems or help you with your problems, answer your questions. Also, again, alphabetized golf carts, grandstand tickets, guest services, which is a neat part. Let's talk about that for just a second. Guest Welcome Village, guest services, information. Speedway representatives are prepared to answer questions, assist you with on-site transportation, and facilitate special needs during Bristol Motor Speedway events. Representatives can be found in guest services booths located in the concourse area of the Pearson, the Waltrip, the Johnson, and the Petty grandstands. I know this is kind of a no-brainer, but obviously if you've never been here, our grandstand sections are named after former drivers that have done very, very well here at Bristol. It kind of goes without saying, but I want you to know that because there's folks coming for the first time going, the Pearson, the Waltrip, yes. All across our complex here at Bristol Motor Speedway, inside the world's fastest half mile, the grandstand areas are named after drivers. So, yes, concourse area of Pearson and Waltrip and Johnson and Petty grandstands. Other locations include Lot A and Lot B parking areas, Dragway Shuttle Tent and Hospitality Village, as well as the BMS side of the Red Bridge. And so locations are shown on the Speedway with a big yellow box with a GS inside of it. Can't miss them, called Guest Services. That's also in this handicap. The handicap needs is also in this. Hearing protection. Let me just go ahead and tell you, when you're coming to Bristol this weekend, get some earplugs or a headset. You've got to have that because the noise is deafening. Hearing protection is recommended during all events at Bristol Motor Speedway. I wouldn't say it's deafening necessarily, but it is loud. Earplugs and scanner headphone rentals are available at souvenir locations. Got to have that because it is loud in here. 43 cars rumbling on the world's last great Coliseum, making some noise. So for your ear protection, be sure and pick up some earplugs. We sell them here on property. Or also scanner and headphone rentals available as well. All this again in this guest guide. You got the kids zone we talked about earlier with Gail. You have what happens if you lose things, lost and found. Lost children, what do you do there? If you lose your tickets, can you ride a motorcycle in to Bristol Motor Speedway and park? What about pets? Here's prohibited items. Let's run down some of these real quick. Things you cannot bring to Bristol Motor Speedway. Some of these are no-brainers, but get a sip of water here from the Bristol Motor Speedway official water mug. That's good stuff there. Nothing like some good cold water. Here's what's prohibited. Bicycles, coolers larger than 14 inches in diameter, drones, fireworks, folding chairs, glass containers, helium balloons or beach balls, hoverboards, laser pointers, noisemakers, horns, rollerblades, roller skates, segways, selfie sticks, skateboards, stadium seats wider than 17 inches. All these are prohibited. Strollers, two-wheeled smart electronic scooters, umbrellas. Kind of goes without saying, but weapons of any kind are obviously prohibited here. All this, again, inside the guest guide book. We have Raceway Ministries. We have folks on property that you can have worship services while you're here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You got suite elevator accesses. You have security and police. Restrooms, pretty basic. Coming here for the first time, go, where's the restrooms? Well, this will tell you all about that as well. Shuttle services, the smoking policy here. Smoking, including the use of e-cigarettes and vapor cigarettes, not allowed in the grandstand, the terrace, the suite, the garage infield, or restroom areas. Smoking is permitted in all open concourse and mezzanine areas. So all this in here. Again, souvenirs, where do you find a souvenir? We would encourage you to come right here to the Speedway World Gift Shop here in the Bruton Smith Building. Speedway Children's Charities events, we're about to talk about that coming up here in a few minutes. Suite elevators, the Tag a Kid that Gail talked about a few minutes ago, how we can... In fact, I'll read that. It's very, very important. Again, Tag a Kid is a free program designed to reunite parents and children should they become separated during events. Parents are encouraged to visit any guest service booth, Kids Zone, or Guest Welcome Village to sign up for the program. And so any child that becomes separated from their parents will be escorted by Speedway personnel to a Guest Welcome Village. We obviously don't want this to happen, but it can from time to time. Or they'll go to the nearest guest services booth where they'll remain in a secure, visible site until parents can be located. So this Tag Kit is a free program. It, too, is in the guest guide. Also, texting, text questions. Do we have telephones in and around Bristol Motor Speedway? We do. Let's see. Transportation, will call, traffic flow after the race. It goes on and on and on. Then you get over here to some of the basic NASCAR 101 information. Fast facts, racing strategy, tires. I mean, some information. If you're a first-time NASCAR fan, have no clue. We're talking about the lucky dog, or if this particular flag goes up in the flag stand, yellow flag or green flag or whatever these different flags are, what does it mean? And so there she is. Come on over, Betsy. And all this going on again. This is the guest guide, absolutely free, and compliments of Bristol Motor Speedway. Come right here and jump in here. This tells you how busy this young lady is. She is here. She is Betsy Holloman from Speedway Children's Charities. Good morning, young lady. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming. I know you're busy. It is hammer time, as they say, here at Bristol Motor Speedway. But let's talk about it for just a second. SCC, Speedway Children's Charities, raising a lot of money for kids. Before we get into these individual events, tell us what Speedway Children's Charities is all about.
Well, we began here at Bristol Motor Speedway in 1996 under the direction of Claudia Bird. That came from strict orders from Bruton Smith, who's the chairman of Speedway Motorsports, and he founded Speedway Children's Charities in a memoriam to his son who died from SIDS. And so our sole purpose is to raise funds for kids in need, that could be need of clothing, food, shelter, kids who've been abused, anything in this region, and we serve 18 counties around Bristol Motor Speedway. So our sole purpose is to raise funds and give it away.
Awesome. And they do. And, of course, every November, tell us about this. It's called the Night of Smiles. All the fundraising leads up to this big special night. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that's Claudia and myself, our favorite night of the year, because it's really, it's not a pat on the back to us. It's not a pat on the back to our trustees, anybody. It's really just our opportunity to give away funds to people who can't raise the funds themselves. And so it's a really cool evening. We bring in all of our agencies, give them sweets, chocolate them up, and then send them upstairs and hand checks out.
Right upstairs, they hand out checks to all these different agencies in November, right before the Christmas season. And of course, it's awesome. And to date, how much money's been raised?
Nearly $11 million.
That's awesome.
Just in the Bristol chapter. It's close to $50 million Speedway Children's Charities across the country. So we're blessed.
We're talking to Betsy Holloman from Speedway Children's Charities. We've talked about this before. If you took that money out of these nonprofit organizations, $11 million just here in the region over all these years, those folks would be in trouble, wouldn't they?
Yes. So some of the agencies receive funding from other organizations, but a lot of them, this is their sole funding, and so they would really have to shut their doors if it wasn't for amazing sponsors and the community around Bristol Motor Speedway supporting Speedway Children's Charities.
And so every race weekend we provide a lot of different events to raise money. It's for you guys to have fun on that side of the camera. On this side of the camera, we're raising funds for kids here in the region. So we've got no exception this race weekend. Got several events I wanted to talk about. Again, these events are fundraisers, as she talked about. All kind of goes to the Night of Smiles in November. There's fundraising efforts all year long, both in the spring and fall race, and also different events in the summer when the racing weekends aren't here. So it's a year-round endeavor by these folks to raise money. But this weekend, here's a couple of opportunities I'm going to throw out there for you to enjoy. One of those is the Meat Tractor Charity Cornhole Tournament coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for race fans to win some big bucks. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so everybody likes to tailgate, and this is it's a tailgating game, and Mead Tractor came on board to really get behind this effort, and we give away $1,000 at the end. So come and get some swag and play a few games, and maybe walk away with some cash.
It's crossed between bean bags and horseshoes, right? Cornhole?
I guess, yeah.
It's
I
read.
In the hole.
Yeah. You tried it? You any good at it?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
No, I'm terrible.
That and ice skating. Count me out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm right there with you. So here's what's going on. It's $40 to enter per team. Each player receives a commemorative gift. Prizes, as Betsy said, will be awarded for top qualifying teams. The grand championship team will win $1,000. You can register as you're coming this weekend to bristol.speedwaycharities.org. You can also register on site. Qualifiers take place on Friday at 2, Friday at 5, Saturday at 10 o'clock, and also at 6 o'clock, with the Grand Championship being held on Food City 500 Day at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. So even if you don't play cornhole, stop by for your chance to see some great celebrities and support the charity cornhole tournament, because in the past, some of the drivers, some of the folks kind of moseyed by and said, let me get my hand to that.
Absolutely.
So you just never know, right?
And Bruton is known to mosey his golf cart over and kind of sit and watch.
So that's all coming up again all weekend long. You can go to bristol.speedwaycharities.org. This is Breakfast at Bristol. Again, thanks for being with us. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, the voice of the Speedway, and also the host of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We do this each day. We'll be back here tomorrow again to do it all over again. Super Pass and Track Walk coming up on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Tell us about that.
So years ago, Speedway Children's Charities offered a track walk, and it was essentially just walking on the track. We usually got a driver to, lead the crowd around, and so we really teamed up with the Speedway on this effort. And so the Super Pass is the track walk, driver introductions, and the pre-race concert. So really cool opportunity, and then we get a portion of those proceeds, which really is great for us. But cool opportunity. You really get a ton of time on the track before the race begins, and that's something you don't want to miss. For sure.
Absolutely. And of course, again, go to bristolmotorspeedway.com or call 989-6900 for that. All this again on the website of bristolmotorspeedway.com. Also, this is ongoing like today, all the way through Friday, the Bristol Ultimate Experiences online auction. Tell me about this.
So this is a big fundraiser for us, and you know, people take the opportunity to get online, bid on some of our auctions. They're you know, things that you couldn't purchase otherwise. So riding in the back of the truck with Dale Jr. During his introduction lap as he waves to the crowd is something, you know, you can't purchase. So these are amazing experiences. The drivers are fabulous. You know, they're just kind of hanging out with one person in the truck, and we'll sign autographs. Bristol Motor Speedway All Access package, so anything you could imagine wanting to do up front, up close during race weekend, that's available on that website.
A lot of these drivers say, yes, we want to be a part of this. So as Betsy said, you win this by bidding, and then what you do when driver intros, we announce the drivers, they jump in the Chevrolet trucks and go around and they're waving at the crowd. And so if you win this ride of a lifetime, it's you and the driver in the back of the pickup, one-on-one. As she said, they'll let you sign something, or they will sign something for you. No, you won't sign something for them. They'll sign something for you. I guess you could. Yeah. And you also get a chance to get a picture with them. So it's you and this driver one-on-one for about 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, slowly going around the track in the back of the pickup during driver intros. That's the ride of a lifetime. You can be a part of this by going to sccauctions.com. Again, that's part of the experience through Friday. And so go there and bid on the drivers. And how many drivers we have this time? Ballpark number?
Man, I think we have 10 or 15.
Yeah, 10 or 15 drivers. So these are Cup drivers. And these are the big boys, too, along with some of the up-and-comers. So check that out, sccauctions.com. We're talking to Betsy Holloman from Speedway Children's Charities. This is Breakfast at Bristol. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. If you have any questions or comments, be sure and do just that on the comments section, and then we will have a Bristol Motor Speedway staff member get right back to you promptly. Something about this, or Gail was in here earlier talking about the kids zone, or anything else that you have a question about, please comment, and that's why we're here. We want to, as the late Jeff Bird says and said, exceed expectations. So what he used to say, and we still live with that mantra. We want to exceed expectations for you, the race fans. So if you have comments or questions, please, here on the Facebook, ask those, and we'll get right back to you with a prompt and quick answer. Track laps on Thursday night, 7 to 9 o'clock. What's that all about?
So that is essentially bringing your own vehicle on a Bristol Motor Speedway before the drivers do. It's a really cool opportunity. We'll take you into Victory Lane, get you a picture behind the or in front of the Victory Lane banner. Really cool experience, and again, something we don't offer other than race weekend.
See, there's lots of different options. We're not done. We've got a couple of more to talk about. Here's another one called the half-mile hot laps driven by Seat Time Racing School. Now, if you want to feel it, let these guys feel it, and Danica on the Food City 500 at High Banks of Bristol. Here's a chance for you to get in the seat and feel it and experience what they experience when they come to Bristol. Tell me about that.
Yeah, 4 laps on Bristol Motor Speedway at the same speeds as these drivers do on Saturday and Sunday. So Seat Time Racing School, you know, they run it. We do nothing except help promote it, and they give us a portion of the proceeds from that. But it's 4 laps in a real race car, and taking it top speeds.
Yep, you get to experience what they experience doing for a living. You get to do for 4 laps, and again, it's an awesome opportunity. That'll be on Friday night from 8:30 until 11:30. Again, you want to go to Speedway Children's Charities website and find out more about that, or also SeatTimeRacingSchool.com is also the other place to go. Then we have racing with 4 wheels. We also have racing with 2 legs, a spring race 5K. Tell me about that.
Yes, so spring race 5K presented by Ajero. We actually just confirmed that Blake Cook and his crew chief Chris Rice are going to be kind of honorary starters for that event. We are also highlighting a child in this area that benefited from some of the money we raised, and so he's going to be there with Blake and Chris on stage before the event. But you're going to take a 5K route across our property. Yes, it is hilly. We've been told it's not an easy route, but it's super fun. You can come and walk. We'll feed you afterwards, little snacks, and kind of have a party. It's a fun race, definitely.
Absolutely. It's a 5K, and again, go to bristol.speedwaycharities.org to get registered for that when you come on property. And the neat thing about that is the fans line the course and cheer on the runners, don't they?
Yes. Oh, campers, they're handing out beverages, which we, hopefully it's water.
Hopefully it's water, yep. If not, I mean, it is what it is. But, yeah, spring race 5K. Yeah, they line the course and cheer on the runners, which is pretty cool. And then 2 more events Thursday night of this week: the annual Speedway Children's Charity Dinner upstairs here on the 3rd floor of the Bruton Smith Building. Always a special evening. Tell us about that.
Mark Martin is going to be our guest for that evening. We're super excited. We have a lot of businesses that come and are a part of this evening, but like you said, it's just dinner and entertainment, and then we usually do a few auction items at the end. Again, things that you couldn't purchase, signed items, and what's fun is Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey is usually there to do the auction, so that's fun. Really cool event. Mark Martin.
Absolutely, coming up on Thursday night. Then last but not least, during the race on Sunday, Food City 500, passing the buckets, the Red Bucket Brigade. Tell me about that.
So we got this idea from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Speedway Children's Charities there, ended up just passing, again, red buckets through the stands. It's like passing the offering plate in church, Tom.
There you go.
And they ended up raising about $30,000 just from people putting in loose change. And again, all of that money goes back into our communities. And so we said, okay, we're going to try this. And we had huge success. It's really another opportunity for us to give back to the community because we have groups, kids groups that come in and they kind of are in charge of the buckets. And so we give them a portion of what they bring into a great fundraiser for Speedway Children's Charities.
Absolutely. When do they do it? During the race. They'll do it during the first caution or the end of stage 1, whichever comes first, and they pass the buckets. And again, the old adage that nickels make dimes, dimes make quarters, and all adds up. And so you just throw your change in. It's total voluntarily if you want to do it. It's a volunteer situation. If it works for you.
Absolutely.
Why would it not? Just throw change in there, and again, it all adds up. It's all about the kids. That's the slogan or the theme for Speedway Children's Charities. All this going on, so there is a website to go to. Again, tell us the website.
Bristol.
Betsy Holloman, busy time right now. Taking, but she's awesome. Betsy Holloman from Speedway Children's Charities. I know she's got to run and take off because, again, they're trying to pull all these things together as we're winding down, getting ready for race week. And we're going to wind this thing down, our portion of the show. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, ready to go with another set and another morning full of information for you, the race fans. What is the objective of Breakfast at Bristol? Very simple, is to provide information for you and all the different things we're doing and providing for the fans, and that would be you, of course. So when you come to Bristol, we want it to be a memory maker. We want you to have the time of your life. We want you to leave here in the spring saying, I got to come back in the fall because it is awesome. So we do want to say thanks. Again, thanks to our guest, Gail Hulse, the Director of Guest Services, and, of course, Betsy Holloman from Speedway Children's Charities. We will rejoin you again tomorrow morning, same time, Breakfast at Bristol. If you have comments, please go ahead and send out questions and let us know about that. And we, as we said, will have a Bristol Motor Speedway staff member, again, respond to you very promptly and answer any and all questions you may have here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, that magic number, again, the tickets, 423-BRISTOL, BristolTix.com. Those are the numbers you want to find out about to get ticket information, get in here and get ready to roll for this great racing weekend coming up. Again, starting the Bush's Beans Pole Day. That'll get us going again on Friday. Again, we'll run down the schedule one more time before we get out of here. Bush's Beans Pole Day on Friday. Cup practice at 11:30. Xfinity Series practice at 1 and 3:30. Then we have Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Coors Light pole qualifying at 4:45 on Friday. Saturday, we have Cup practice at 8:30 on Saturday morning. Pole qualifying for the Xfinity Series, the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300 at 9:35 on Saturday morning. Then the final practice of the Cup drivers at 11 o'clock on Saturday. Then at 1 o'clock, the Xfinity Series Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300, followed by the Zombie Auto 125, the K&N Series. All that going on beginning at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the 25th installment of the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Food City 500. Who will win these races this weekend here at the world's last great Coliseum? We'll have more for you tomorrow. Thanks for giving us a watch and a listen. And as we'll tell you, as always, this is Tom Taylor telling you we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, as always, we'll say, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody, from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's Bristol, baby.